What's going on, pursuers? Welcome to the Pursuit of Calling podcast, where my goal and calling is to provide you with the tools and strategies needed to successfully discover and pursue your God-given calling. I'm your host, Thomas.carney, and today we're talking about something pretty cool. It's how you can get 3 coaching sessions for free. Okay, first off, what the heck is a coaching session? Okay, well, let me explain. First, it's a 30-minute conversation, pretty much, all about you. That's pretty cool. The goal of the first session, which is considered the intro session, is to introduce us to each other and to start the process of you pursuing your calling, or just continuing it on if you're continuing on with it if you're already on that path. I've asked some questions before. And I like to ask in coaching, so I want to give you a little bit of a taste of the types of questions that I ask during those sessions, so you can get kind of a feel for it. One of the questions I actually have asked multiple times in past episodes. These questions that I get from Valerie Burton, who is the main trainer for the coaching certification I'm getting with the Maxwell team. So I use it during these questions during my sessions and at the end of some episodes, like I said. And one of the questions that I love to ask is, how is someone's life better when they cross paths with you, when they cross your path? How does somebody's life improve? I ask that question whenever I sense that somebody, one, isn't sure about what their purpose is. That is a purpose question. I ask that question. Maybe first I'll ask, if I would ask you what your purpose is, what would you say? And if you're not sure, then the next question I ask is this one: how is your life better when they cross paths with you? That causes a person to be introspective on their own life and how they interact with others and why they interact with others the way that they interact with them. And that is a hint. That is not just a hint. That is like a very clear indication of what your purpose is. And I think if we said it before, your purpose, your calling goes with you wherever you go. It's not just one particular thing. Another question that I haven't asked on a podcast before, but I like is, what are you afraid will happen if you do what you really want to do? Maybe you're afraid that when you pursue this part of your life, maybe when you say you pursue your calling, you're afraid you're going to fail. Maybe you're like me and you're a perfectionist and you're so afraid to start because you're so worried about messing up. Maybe you're afraid that you'll succeed if you pursue this goal, pursue your calling, and you'll leave other people. Maybe you're afraid that you'll succeed and leave other people behind. And that's something we walk through during a coaching session to figure out why you aren't doing this, why you aren't pursuing your calling with the excellence that you could be pursuing it with. And then a question that's really good is, what will you gain by reaching this goal? There are things called performance goals and there are growth goals. And both of these, you can ask this question: what will you gain by reaching this goal? So, or like, what is the positive outcome from achieving this goal? So those are some things to really think about. Me, with my coaching, I want to pursue. I'll give you an example. I want to pursue my business, my coaching business. I want it to be my full-time. I would love for it to be my full-time career one day. And for me, that would mean I could just serve people at a higher capacity within my own calling. That means there's no cap on my financial income. That income is definitely a part of it, but it's not the sole reason I want to coach. If it's financial reason, I could have chose anything else, but I chose coaching for a very particular reason, because my calling is to provide people with the tools they need to successfully pursue their God-given calling. And I discovered that on this journey of personal development and growth. So these are the questions I get to ask you one-on-one whenever you have a coaching session. I get to kind of prod a little bit and prod, and I get to dig, which I really enjoy. And not dig into your life, but dig into you and who you are. And then whenever because we're not, I love this phrase before. I'm going to see if I get it right because it's not in my notes. But when we're coaching, there's a phrase called we are mining for gold, not digging for dirt. Right? So, I love this. This wasn't even in my, oh my gosh, thank you, Lord. So, so there's, what that means, if you don't understand, if it's not clear, dirt is what's on the surface. You might know, or now you might get where I'm going. Dirt is what's on the surface. And we're not digging for dirt. We're not going to surface level. We're going deep in these sessions. We're looking for the gold that's in your life. I remember a previous episode way back whenever Sean was still here, the podcast was still technically short, and Brandon Major talked about speaking the gold out on other people. And that's honestly another great thing to think about. It's like, because whenever you speak the gold out in somebody else, that means there are things that people see in you that other people that you don't see. And that, like, so whenever, if you're going to speak the gold out in other people, ask other people to speak the gold out in you. And that's what the purpose of the coaching session is. I get to see the gold and show it to you. Like, take that gold from you and put it in front of your face. Be like, this is you. You've said all of these things, and you said all of these things about this situation and that situation. And from the external perspective, I can see that this is the goal. This is the theme. This is the theme of why you do what you do. And that you can tell me if I'm wrong about that. That's why I love. I don't assume I'm right. Coaches, good coaches don't assume that they're right. We look and ask and hey, does this make sense? Does this make sense? Do you want to add or take anything away from what I just said about you? So that's why I want to say, like, coaching, like, it's not. Yeah, I think that makes sense. I keep trying to go off my notes. I'm gonna keep moving on because I want to make sure this is clear. So I want to say coaching. Like I say, those are one-on-one questions I get asked, and now I want to say coaching is a catalyst for your exponential growth, exponential personal growth, helping you reach your goals. A coach is there to provide accountability, ensuring you follow through on your commitments in order to achieve your goals and bring your vision to life. Recently I decided that I really needed to kick my coaching business off with something a little crazy, and I told you this already. So I decided that I'm going to give away 3 free coaching sessions to whoever signs up within the next 30 days. Because I want to serve. Really, that's it. Like, I want to serve, and my name isn't out there. People aren't just lining up at my door right yet. So, like, I want to say, I want to just give you 3 coaching sessions. And I'm going to be honest, I'm going to get into this later, but there's no real reason why you shouldn't sign up if you believe there's more for your life. Because like, all I'm asking is 30 minutes of your time. I said it's a 30-minute conversation. If you hate the first session, don't sign up for a second one. Like, you're not going to hurt my feelings. I'll probably learn something if you hate the first one, because that means maybe I did something wrong. However, I haven't had that happen yet, so I'm pretty sure. Just to be honest, I've already started giving some of these sessions away, and like I said, I haven't had anybody say no. I don't want to sign up for a second one. So maybe if you know somebody that possibly is being coached right now, ask them what it's about. Ask them. Maybe one of my clients and that they've told you that they're being coached. Ask them what it's like, and if maybe you should sign up for 3 day for 3 coaching sessions. I've been pushing myself a lot recently to be the best I can be in some very specific areas of my life, in my faith, in my relationships, in my personal growth, in my health, and in my business. I'm doing this so I can push myself to hold myself to a higher standard, so that I can be an example, but also so I can serve it at my highest ability. And I'm not perfect at this. I'm human, and I know I have my mistakes. Health is an area I'm struggling with right now, just because. I don't want to say just because. I know there's multiple reasons. Health is like, I'm not in poor health, but I'm not where I want to be. And there's people I know that can help me out with that. So that's like something I'm being vulnerable with you with. That's something I'm not strict with myself. Don't have enough accountability on it. That's something I need to work on. I know that. So that's something I need to pursue better. So, all that to say, I've already started, like I said, getting the free sessions away. I jumped ahead of my notes. Sorry. The people I coach are those who have big dreams and a vision for their lives. Not everyone knows that the calling, what the calling is that God has for them. Some people don't even know that there is a calling on their life. So if you didn't know that there's a calling on your life already, well, let me be the first to tell you, God has a calling for your life. Big G God, capital G God has a calling for your life. And that, and maybe you're not a Christian. Maybe you don't believe in God, and that's okay. Like, that doesn't count you out from there being a purpose on your life, regardless of what you believe in God. Now, I say at the beginning of every episode that my goal and calling, I change it from purpose to calling, because even though they're interchangeable, I like the word calling. My goal and calling is to provide people with the tools they need to successfully discover and pursue their God-given calling. That's the purpose of my life and of my coaching. So if you want to join me in a conversation about how you can live life in and for your calling, I want you to click the link in the show notes of this episode. It will say, click here to sign up for your free intro session. Click here to start the free, or click here to start the your first of your one of 3 coaching sessions. Something like that will be in the show notes. I can't wait. This is going to sound corny. I can't wait to have this conversation, but I want to say, like, your calling is calling you. God is calling. Your calling is calling. Keep pursuing. No one is going to do it for you. Nobody's going to pursue your calling for you. I don't need you to click the link. That's not my prerogative. I almost said that. That's not right. That's not true. But no one is going to pursue your calling for you. So click the link. Like I said, the only thing you have to lose is 30 minutes. The only thing you have to lose is 30 minutes of your time. Can you spare 30 minutes to spare 30 minutes for your own personal growth? Does that sound worth it to you? I want to tell you, though, if you're still curious whether you should sign up or not, I'm going to tell you about the people who should sign up. These people are teachable. These people they're people who want to grow. They're people who know that God has more for them in this life. They're people who are asking, and this was me. These people who are asking, is this it? Is this all that life has? Is where I'm at in my life where I'm going to be for the rest of my life? If you're asking that question, then sign up for a coaching session. Like, do it. Like, just stop. Don't even listen to the rest of the episode. Click the link and go sign up for a podcast. Sign up. Because this episode's almost over anyway. Just sign up for the coaching session. And if you want to know who shouldn't sign up, if you want to know if you shouldn't sign up for this session, I'm going to be honest and blunt with you. Just flip all of those on their head. If you're not teachable, which means you believe that you're always right, you believe that you can do no wrong, then don't sign up for a coaching session. If you're arrogant, don't sign up for this coaching session. And it kind of falls in line with if you want to grow. If you don't want to grow, which essentially means that you don't think there is any growth to be had. If you don't believe there is a purpose on your life, honestly, I think you should sign up, to be honest. If you don't believe, I want to show you that there is, to show you that you're wrong. If you don't believe that there's a purpose on your life, honestly, sign up. I'd love to have a conversation with you. But really, I'm looking to have conversation with people who want to grow. If you feel like there's something more for you in this life, sign up. Sign up. Click the link. All right. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Pursuit of Calling podcast. If you enjoyed this episode, go ahead and share it out on Facebook, Instagram, X, wherever you use social media. And honestly, if you have a friend that you believe this podcast would benefit, if you believe that this episode, if you think there are people that should sign up, and you want them to give them a little bit more information about what coaching is, you can send them to this episode. Please, I would actually really appreciate that. And you'd also be helping them out too. So if you enjoy this episode, if you enjoy this podcast, definitely give it a 5-star review on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you listen to your podcasts. And guys, again, thank you. Thank you, pursuers. Keep pursuing. I'll see you next time.